Good evening, this is Royce Miller coming back at you with yet another episode of my increasingly poorly named film Foodie, where I try the foods of pop culture. And tonight, we eating fancy like Applebee's on a date night. Got a Bourbon Street steak with an Oreo shake. No whipped cream on top. Yes, I am trying the famous meal from sorry, moving my thing back from that guy that song that was popular a couple years ago, Fancy Like, the famous Applebee's Bourbon Street steak, and they didn't have Oreo shakes at Applebee's, so I got one from Freddy's. Mostly melted, and this is cold because I didn't exactly do the best job of getting there on time. Ooh, got a little shrimp. I should say let's dig in. So. Sorry. This is a really tough cut of meat. So fancy like. The gray ring of death. Proof of a poor steak cooker. But at least it's still medium rare. It's not the best, but it's not the best cut of meat I've had, but it is actually flavored pretty well. Don't eat that, Clark. I'm pretty sure or onions are toxic to dogs. I said no. I have it trapped under my foot. I'll get it after the video. So, fancy like. It's been a couple years since I've heard the song. So I rewatched Todd in the Shadow's review of it. And man, I hate country. Like, I hate to sound stereotypical, but I only really like the old school stuff like Johnny Cash or Big Iron. I forget who did that one. Marty Robbins, I think. I believe there's another one, Woody Guthrie. Old school communist. Like back when, well, more anarchist, but like this was back before Stalin ruined the idea of communism with his bastardized version in the USSR. Like Woody Guthrie, I think that's his name. It might be something else, but he was like a hardcore leftist. That butter's really good, and that's kind of where country actually was from. Is more a more radical background. But as society changed and stuff like rock and roll came out, the avant-garde moved to greener pastures, and the people left with country were, well, kind of, more old school, like more traditional. But there's still some like good country from that era too, from the post rock and roll era. like Johnny Cash, obviously. Heck, Johnny Cash had a song called Cocaine Blues, which was like kind of a comedy song, but a lot darker than, say, Boy Named Sue. He basically talks about killing his wife and fleeing to Mexico on a cocaine bender. Or Texas, anyway, I don't know. It's been a minute since I listened to the song. As a fan of Fallout New Vegas, I like listening to some like old school stuff and imagining how it could fit into the games or show. And with Cocaine Blues, I always imagine that'd be kind of the Courier's theme. Like if you ever if you never played Fallout New Vegas, the Courier is the main character is the player character of Fallout New Vegas, and in the fandom, they're kind of more known for being just a crazy drug addict. Not that that's how the character is. Like, it's an RPG, the character is however you want them to be. Man, the garlic mashed potatoes were good until I started eating the steak. The steak is so seasoned that the garlic mashed potatoes now taste plain. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, I enjoy a well-seasoned steak. Honestly, the seasoning is the best thing about it, because listen to that. Like, you have to remember that I'm used to Texas Roadhouse, where the steak's cut like butter. There's a ton of sinew in this piece. I'm realizing this issue. And I know what you're saying. Royce, if you're having issues cutting it, use an actual fork and knife. Which, fair point, but I counter with that I've had prime rib from what's it called? Texas Roadhouse that I could cut with plastic silverware very easily. A poor craftsman blames their tools, and I know how to cut a steak. But I don't know how to finish that analogy. The website was glitching out, so I did have to order on DoorDash, but I still selected pickup at restaurant, which was quite the drive, let me tell you. I live in a weird area where everything is a drive for me, even though I live in the city. Anyway, we have dessert here. courteous of Freddy's, it is mostly melted because I had to pick it up before going to Applebee's. But I've never disguised the fact that I do love a melted shake. Now, the guy who sang Fancy Like, he is clearly a very well-to-do person. Like, he filmed the video at his house. Or at least he filmed the TikToks with his daughter at his house. That first led the song to gaining widespread popularity. Clark's on my lap and I'm petting him. So, and he had a hit previous to this thing. So, like, I can't help but feel like the song is intentionally... It's pretending to be something it's not. Like, Applebee's on a date night or whatever. Maybe back before that, like when he was in high school or just out of high school. But the person who wrote and sang that song is not the person in the song. You understand me? But technically I'm the person who the song is kind of about because I also have cheap tastes. It also makes a sexual innuendo using a Frosty. Talks about dipping his French fry in his wife's Frosty. So, his penis in her vajayjay. Or, to quote Smosh, his pen in her bajimbus. Mother! I forgot to... Oh, this is starting to look like... This is starting to look less like me having a dumb brain and more like a malicious... Oh, God, what do people call it? Like, where you... intentional ignorance or whatever, where it's like you pretend to be inept so people do your work for you. Shit. Football guy, this is dedicated to you. I'm trying to think now who... this is dedicated to the a-hole who said, "Oh, we're so back," when I posted the Arby's Gobbler review. Like, dude, come on, man. That was a low blow. The problem is, like, I don't remember people by their names. I remember them by their profile pictures. So, like, it takes me a long time to memorize people's names. Like, Andy, I still have trouble remembering as more than just guy with the Vincent Price profile picture. Ow! Oh. I did that as a gesture of, but it splashed me. I know what you're saying. Royce, you said you'd lay off the soda. Look. It's on sale, okay? I'm weak. I'm weak for a good ginger ale. And to me, the highest quality diet ginger ale has always been Canada Dry. A cranberry variant is just that extra bit of goodness. So, can I recommend Applebee's on a date night? Well, honestly, there are better restaurants. Like, it seems like anytime I go to Applebee's, I have subpar food. Maybe it's just because I'm ordering the wrong things. Although I ordered a burger from there and there was bone in it. Okay, that was offensive. But like, Applebee's is a bar. You go there for bar food. Like, one thing my brother likes from there is, I don't know if they still have them, but cheeseburger egg rolls. So you get their, their like $2 margaritas or whatever. You get yourself an order of nachos with cheap queso, and you have yourself a decent time. You don't do this, or you don't try to order fancy food. But that said, it wasn't that bad. It was good flavored. It was just, to me, not the best quality of meat. And like, I know that's a lot of that's fat talk. That's a fat load of talk coming from me, someone who shovels down, Subway at a consistent rate. But that's just my 2 cents on the matter. If you like Applebee's, good on you. Me personally, I'm not the biggest fan. You know who I should try again soon is Ruby Tuesdays, but I'd have to do it on my own because I want to go in the restaurant and see if they still have that salad bar. Because the Ruby Tuesday salad bar, the two best salad bars in the game: Golden Corral and Ruby Tuesdays. Ruby Tuesdays edges them out because they have higher quality ingredients and they have rye croutons. Very nice. Very nice. Excuse me. Anyway, that's going to be it for me today. Y'all have a good one. The Story Spiller. I'm outie.